Alright, so this video is a fast follow to the Kel-Tec Sub 2000 modifications that I made last night using components from Carbo and Tacticool products. Unfortunately, I do not have video of that, and reason being is we got to Bullet Trap in like Plano, Texas, right? And we started shooting it, and basically everything went out the window as far as like the logistics of videotaping. We're having so much fun with that Sub 2000 and those mods that totally forgot about everything related to the video. So first impressions, for one, the buffer pads make a humongous difference on recoil reduction. I know that they say up to 33%, but I felt it was anecdotally a little bit closer to 35%. I mean, I know it's percentage points and you don't care, but impression wise, when you're shooting with those pads, all four of them, I didn't consciously think about recoil the entire time. It was like shooting a 22. It actually, I think, to be honest with you, felt more comfortable in some ways than shooting a 22 in a rifle form, right? I just didn't think about it. I didn't think about it at all. When I was getting target with the sights and everything, it was not even a consideration. And the groupings, even out to 25 yards, were phenomenal. I mean, we're talking about a fist. I mean, I don't have a big fist, but we're talking about 5 or 6 inch patterns to 25 yards. And the front sight was a little bit kludgy because we were shooting in an indoor range, and it was kind of hard to get a sight picture with it. So I might be updating that at some point in time. I'll look at some different options and see what is available. But mostly like a fluorescent front sight might work. Sorry, I'm trying to straighten this out. There we go. That's a little bit better. Second thing, the trigger brake and feed ramp make a humongous difference on the action of the weapon. It was super smooth. I went through the polishing technique and everything like Carbo suggests. It was real nice. I'm going to clean it and just make sure that I did a good job on smoothing everything out on those milling marks. But weapon had absolutely no problem rechambering that the round from my magazine. In addition, the mag release button, the extended mag release, made a humongous difference on being able to transition through magazines. Now, I was shooting with a 33 round magazine just to test everything out because I wanted to make sure that I had extra rounds. I didn't have to constantly be filling my magazines up. But I will say, every time I dropped it to do security clearance check, perfect. I mean, no problems at all. The extended mag release did not give any logistical problems that I saw, and made the entire experience a lot easier. So kudos to them. They've got to figure it out. The charging handle, the double, the extra long charging handle, made a large amount of difference because with those recoil pads, you're not able to lock the charging handle up on the Sub 2000. So, I mean, it's almost there, but you'd have to remove 2 pads in order to be able to do that effectively. You'd have to kind of wrench at it. So, going from the stock single post to the 2-finger charging handle made a large amount of difference in just popping that quick and then going right back to firing. So, really love that. Again, I wish we had video, but it really doesn't do it justice. Those mods are quintessential. I would say that you have to have them if you have a Sub 2000. If you really want to enjoy shooting it and making it top notch for performance purposes. It didn't have any issue with the stock shoulder stock after I added the recoil pads, and the cheek pad on the buffer tube made a large amount of difference on being able to get your sight picture and establish your cheek weld. Now, because I'm a little bit heavier, I go from a cheek weld right here on a normal rifle up to right about here on the Sub 2000. But the good thing about that pad is, normally when you're trying to get a sight picture and you're pulling it up quick, your cheek's not warming that buffer tube very quickly. So it kind of, subconsciously it checks you a little bit, right? But with that pad, you know, it's a buffer, right? It makes it easy to attach here and get a really quick, very concise and hard weld, and it doesn't shock you at all. So you can go right to the semantics of shooting, making sure that your finger is, you know, not on the trigger until you're ready to shoot, and you engage the trigger exactly when you want to shoot. And then the recoil, reduced recoil, makes it very easy to realign and reestablish your sight picture through your sights and shoot effectively. I was able to tack drive it. I mean, we had at 10 yards, just to show the effects of accuracy and ease of shooting, I had about a quarter size hole that I shot 15 rounds through. Phenomenal. I cannot tell you how happy I am to shoot that gun, but the largest regret is that I can't shoot it more right now. So I would go out and spend, I believe all in, I was probably under $300 for everything. You'd have to fact check that and order everything, but it was super easy to install, super logistically simple, and the shot placement and overall operation of the weapon is leagues above stock. No questions asked. So if you're thinking about them, just do it. It's worth the money, and then you'll have, you know, $600-700 in the weapon, and it'll be a top-notch performer, and no questions asked. Definitely check out Carbo and Tacticool products, because they really upped the game on my Kel-Tec Sub 2000, and I absolutely love it.